So I believe that Operation Menu was considered a terrorist attack. The first reason is because a target is one of the first categories in order to be considered a terrorist organization, and the U.S. Killed many people on purpose in order to stop the war. Thousands of planes dropped more than 100,000 tons of bombs, and this happened within 14 months. So the U.S. deliberately targeted civilians and people who were in the war, and that is part of the criteria in being a terrorist organization. The president during this time was Nixon, and he warned Cambodia that he was ready to stop them and the war. And he said, and I quote, "We'll just slip the word to them that Nixon is obsessed with communists. We can't restrain him when he's angry, and he has his hand on the nuclear button." Nixon purposely created a fear by warning Cambodia, which is the second category in why it could have been a terrorist attack. Nixon always wanted to stop the communists from spreading because he hated this type of power, and he believed that by bombing them he would bring world peace, and he quoted that it is the only chance to stop the Vietnam War and prevent the spread of communism. He had both an ideological goal and political reason, which is why that's the third reason why it could have been a terrorist attack. And lastly, he made a speech to the American people to spread fear and awareness that he despises communism and communists. He gave a speech in 1970 that communism needs to end, and this made the American people the audience, which completes all four categories that during this time the Americans made a terrorist attack on Cambodia during the war. So I think that all of the requirements meet or could be considered for the terrorist attack for Operation Menu, and that U.S. should not have intervened with another country's battle. Although some may argue that although the U.S. may argue that they were doing it for the right cause, I think that most terrorists also believe that, so they didn't have the right to do that. And I think it is interesting that U.S. qualified, or I believe qualified for their own definition of terrorists.